There's so much information that you can use from this report that it feels almost illegal to have access to it. It's time to get on your Zoom. It's time to get your head in the game. You gotta get your head in the books, because CSEC is around the corner. But I'm here to help you, to guide you, to advise you as somebody who has been there, done that. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I am Nas, and here I speak all things language learning. So if you want to learn Spanish and keep that love for the language going even beyond your CSEC examinations, then feel free to not only watch this video but subscribe to this channel, where I'll be helping you on your road to fluency, as I too am on that same journey. So I've been there, done that with CXC Spanish and CAPE Spanish as well. In fact, I actually placed 10th in the Caribbean region for my CAPE Spanish Unit 2 examinations. So when I tell you I know exactly what I'm talking about and I want to help you do the exact same thing or even better, get first place, then I mean it. So let's go. I want to talk all about this secret tip. I'm calling it a secret tip because I really don't hear persons talking about this, and maybe you know about this, but I really don't hear persons like encouraging this and telling persons that, hey, this is literally like the secret sauce to getting your distinction, getting your straight A profile. Like, I don't, like, no one tells you this, you know what I mean? But I'm here to tell you this because I want you to do the absolute best and not feel like the exam is daunting or unachievable and that distinction is like a pipe dream. It is not, guys. CXC is literally not even that crazy. Like, they make it seem like it's a big insurmountable milestone, but it is so doable. It's actually kind of funny just how doable it is, and this is why. So we've heard about studying with past papers, right? We've practiced with past papers, but do we hear much about studying with examiners' reports? Now hear me out. Maybe you've heard of them, like I said, but do you actually actively and strategically use it in your study routine? Sometimes it's not about being the kid that studied the hardest in the room, but the kid that studied the smartest in the room. It's all about studying smarter, not harder, when it comes down to these exams. So I've pulled up on my screen the examiner's report, and this is actually available for other subjects as well. So just in case you didn't know, it's literally available on Google for free. Like, get off TikTok and go on Google and look up your examiner report and get on your Zoom, because it's all here. They're telling you how, guys, they are telling you how to pass. This is how to pass. So for example, let's look at paper 2 and what exactly they give you in the report and how you can use this to your advantage to ace your exams. Section 1, which is situations for your Spanish exam, right? They give you exactly what were the candidates' strengths and weaknesses. So I'm looking at, I think this was 2021. The situations were considered manageable. Most candidates responded in their target language. Hint, hint, some persons did not respond in the target language, being Spanish. So if you go in the exam and you don't know how to answer a situation, please, I beg, do not resort to English. It's a Spanish exam, for crying out loud. Figure it out. Sometimes the very vocabulary that you're looking for is actually on the paper in a different section of the paper. So read through your entire examination paper and see how the different sections of the paper can actually help you with other sections. They mentioned the candidates' weaknesses being that they seemed weak in the use of correct and appropriate vocabulary to respond to the situations given. And they go from being very broad to very specific. So they tell you exactly where the candidates fall short. You can read this, take this and run with it, and make sure that you are on your A game with these weaknesses that the candidates tend to have every year. It's kind of the same trend of weaknesses. Make sure that you take this and you study these weaknesses. Make sure that these weaknesses are your strengths, so you can go into the exam and you can do much better. So for example, there's also confusion between uses of por versus para, ser versus estar. Are you still mixing those up? Write it down. That's where you need to go and study and make sure that you are on your A game for ser versus estar. Lack of use of the subjunctive. I know you guys are running from the subjunctive because nobody likes the subjunctive. By the lack of use of the subjunctive, it means they want you to use the subjunctive. They will reward you for using the subjunctive. So if you're still not sure how the subjunctive works, now is the time to get on your Zoom, learn how it works, study how it works, so you can use it and impress your examiners. Incorrect conjugation of verbs. Are you still struggling with conjugating your verbs? Make sure you go through your tenses and be on your A game. They're telling you exactly what to do, guys. Inability to correctly form the negative familiar commands. How are you with the imperative tense? If you're still struggling, go through the imperative tense. Go on SpanishDict.com and do the practice quizzes. They have like practice tests for like just about every tense in the language. Go on SpanishDict.com, practice those quizzes. They give you exactly what some of the candidates responded with to the questions. The following common errors were encountered: use of mirar instead of ver, for example, mire a Rihanna. Use of estar instead of ser, for example, era feliz, está bonita. You can use these with the specific examples and make sure you practice using them so that you don't make the same mistakes in your exam. They give you the examiner's comments under each example to say, hey, was this a strong response or a weak response? You can use it and say, okay, these are the trends of a strong response. These are the trends of a weak response. When you go into the exam, make sure you use the trends of the strong response to get your full marks, right? So you can see that the X's here where the errors were made in the candidate's response. Let's go to section B, letter writing. The same thing. They tell you what the strengths and weaknesses were, what the general performance of the candidates were for that year. They even tell you some of the great examples and like idiomatic expressions that were like commended, that were used that year, and they give you a list of them. Guys, you can use that same list of expressions in your writing. Learn them. Improper use of irregular verbs. How are you with your irregular verbs? Go study them. Incorrect accentuation and absence of required accents. Maybe you are thinking it's not too important to put your accents. From reading this, you know it is very important to include your accents, and you will lose marks from not putting them. Guys, they give you an entire letter, not just one, not just two, 3 letters, guys. Like, you guys are playing. You guys are sleeping on the examiner's report. A wise man learns from his own mistakes, but a wiser man learns from the mistakes of others. You're literally using everybody else's mistakes to make sure you can turn those mistakes into your strengths, into your strong points when you go into the exam. Use those mistakes in your studying. Practice writing your own letter. Maybe even match up your letter with some of the remarks of the examiner. So for example, you can have somebody proofread the letters that you practice and make sure that you don't fall into the trap of these common errors that these candidates to make. You have the blueprint. Sometimes you can't even like find access to past papers, but you have this, you still have gold in your hands. And if you're still struggling with Spanish and you want somebody to practically go through this with you, then I actually tutor CSEC Spanish. My email's in the description where you can request more information, class and whatever, and we can work at a time that's mutually available for both of us to do it. And you know, I even do CSEC Spanish marathons annually, which if you're interested in attending, I'll go through these exact same things with you, but on a more detailed and specific scale, and I'll let you do your own and critique it and give you constructive criticism, and we'll go through it together to ensure you're really ready and equipped to get your distinction. So if you're interested in any of that, or maybe you want some oral practice, orals are coming up. I'll be doing a mock oral practice with students as well. Email me, it's in the description, and also it might be on the screen. Email me for more details. It's time to get your head in the game. You gotta get your head in the books, and I'm willing, equipped, available, and ready to help you get there. So help me help you. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Share this video with your friends. Thank you guys so much for watching. Comment any questions you may have in the description, and you will see me in my next video.